In a world that constantly bombards us with the illusion of deep, meaningful connection, where social media feeds overflow with smiling group photos, heart emojis flood every message, coworkers casually call you fam or ride or die, and people toss out, "I'm always here for you," like it's as easy as breathing. Have you ever given absolutely everything to someone, only to wake up one morning feeling completely hollowed out? You showed up at 2 a.m. when they were falling apart, lent money when they were short, listened for hours to their problems while your own stayed locked inside, celebrated their wins as if they were yours, defended them when others criticized, remembered every small detail they ever shared, adjusted your schedule around theirs, forgave their oversights again and again, and believed every single promise, every warm word, every "you're different, you're special, you're like family to me" declaration. You invested time you didn't really have, energy you barely had left, trust you rarely gave so freely, vulnerability you guarded carefully, financial help you could ill afford, emotional labor you poured out endlessly, and hope you desperately needed to believe in. And then one day the mask slipped, or perhaps it was never a mask at all, just a convenient performance that served them perfectly. When your own world cracked, when you needed a hand to hold, a voice to listen without judgment, practical help, emotional presence, or even just basic human respect, they were suddenly too busy going through something, not in the headspace right now, or simply gone. The silence was deafening. The excuses were thinner than paper. The absence cut deeper than any fight ever could. And in that painful, quiet aftermath, the truth landed like ice water. You weren't cherished, you were convenient. You weren't valued, you were used. That moment of realization is one of the most disorienting, heartbreaking, and quietly devastating experiences a human being can endure. It's not just betrayal. It's betrayal dressed up as care, love, friendship, partnership, mentorship, or family. The hurt isn't only in what they took from you, it's in what they made you question about yourself. Am I not worth real reciprocity? Why do I keep choosing people who drain me dry? How did I miss the signs for so long when they were right in front of me? And most painfully, how do I stop this cycle before it repeats and leaves me even emptier next time? The ancient Stoics, who lived through courts riddled with flattery, false alliances, political intrigue, and ruthless self-interest, understood this pain intimately and offered razor-sharp tools to protect against it. Marcus Aurelius, emperor constantly surrounded by schemers, betrayers, and opportunists, wrote daily reminders to himself to guard his inner citadel and judge others by actions rather than appearances. Epictetus, once enslaved and physically crippled by a cruel master, taught that we cannot control others' hearts or intentions, but we can control who we allow into our inner circle, how much power we grant them over our peace, and when we must walk away with dignity intact. Seneca warned against relationships that function like parasites, quietly feeding on your virtue, your resources, your time, your emotional labor while offering nothing nourishing, nothing reciprocal, nothing real in return. On Strength Within, we take that timeless Stoic wisdom, forged in the fires of real human betrayal, loss, and survival, and transform it into clear, practical armor for your modern life. Today we are exposing 15 unmistakable attitudes and behaviors that reveal someone is only using you and doesn't truly care. Patterns that hide behind smiles, promises, inside jokes. "You're my person" labels, occasional acts of kindness, and even tears when it suits them, but consistently drain your emotional, mental, financial, temporal, and spiritual reserves until you feel like a shadow of who you used to be. These are not always dramatic, screaming red flags. They are quiet, persistent leaks that slowly empty you until one day you wake up and realize you're running on fumes. If you've ever felt invisible in a close relationship, second-guessed your own kindness and generosity, carried resentment you couldn't name or release, wondered why your loyalty is met with indifference, questioned whether real mutual care even exists anymore, or felt the slow, creeping exhaustion of always being the giver, this video is your mirror, your map, your permission slip, and your shield. Watch until the very end. Each sign builds on the last. creating the full, undeniable portrait of exploitation so you can never miss it again. If this message is striking a deep chord right now, hit that like button to affirm you're ready to protect your energy and stop settling for less than you deserve. In the comments below, type "I choose reciprocity" to lock in your commitment to relationships that give as much as they take, that uplift rather than drain, that honor your worth rather than exploit it. Share this video with anyone you know who might be quietly hurting in a one-sided dynamic. They may need this exact clarity to break free. Subscribe to Strength Within and turn on notifications. We release weekly Stoic-powered tools to help you build unbreakable inner strength, razor-sharp discernment, emotional sovereignty, radical self-respect, and the courage to walk away from anything that doesn't honor your highest good. Let's forge your armor, starting right now. Number 15. Failure to fulfill promises. The single most reliable, consistent, and revealing attitude of someone who is only using you is their chronic failure to fulfill promises. The effortless, almost practiced art of issuing beautiful, emotionally charged commitments they have no intention of ever honoring. These individuals are verbal magicians. They paint vivid, hope-filled pictures with words. "I'll be there for you no matter what. I promise to pay you back next week. Scout's honor. We'll crush this project together. I've got your back 100%. You can always count on me. Your family to me. I'll help you move this weekend. No question." In the moment those assurances land, they feel like solid rock under your feet. They create obligation in you, build instant trust, draw you closer emotionally, make you more willing to open your wallet, your calendar, your secrets, your home, your heart. You give more freely because you believe the promise is real, the bond is mutual, the future is secure. But when the moment of truth arrives, when you actually need that support during your breakdown, that repayment when you're short, that presence when you're grieving, that follow through when the project hits a wall, they evaporate like morning mist. Excuses flood in like clockwork. Something unexpected came up. I completely forgot about it. Life got crazy this week. I didn't mean it like that. Things changed and I couldn't, or the most painful version. The complete silence that pretends the promise was never made at all. This isn't occasional human forgetfulness, genuine life chaos, or one-off bad timing. This is a repeated, predictable, almost mechanical pattern. They create expectation, emotional debt, and vulnerability in you while feeling zero obligation themselves. From a Stoic perspective, this is a fundamental violation of integrity, logos, reason, arete, virtue, and truth in action. Epictetus taught that words and deeds must align for a person to be trustworthy. Any consistent misalignment reveals character. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself in his private journal to embody his principles rather than merely speak them, because he knew spoken virtue without action is hollow. For users, promises are cheap currency. They cost nothing to issue, yet they buy immediate goodwill, emotional closeness, favors, loyalty, access to your resources, compliance, and hope without any reciprocal cost. It's manipulation disguised as commitment. The emotional toll is cumulative and profoundly damaging. Each broken promise erodes your trust, not only in them but in your own judgment and intuition. You start second-guessing yourself. Maybe I misheard or misremembered. Maybe I'm being too demanding. Maybe I expected too much. Maybe I'm overreacting. This self-doubt keeps you hooked, giving more in hopes that this time they'll follow through. They rarely do because the pattern serves them perfectly. It maintains control, keeps you chasing their approval, ensures the relationship stays one-sided, and allows them to extract value indefinitely while you carry the disappointment, the resentment, the quiet shame. Stoic wisdom here is mercilessly clear and liberating. Judge people by their actions, not their declarations. Seneca wrote, "A person's true character is revealed by their actions, not their words." To protect yourself, begin tracking the pattern mentally or in a private journal. Note every promise made to you, big or small, and whether it was kept. After 3 to 5 consistent breaches accompanied by weak excuses, deflection, blame shifting, or ghosting, recognize the truth. Their words are tools of extraction, not bonds of care. Reduce your investment proportionally with each unfulfilled commitment. Set clear boundaries early and calmly. I've noticed past promises haven't been kept, so let's keep things light going forward, no big commitments or loans. Their reaction, anger, guilt tripping, more promises, sudden disappearance, or love bombing to reel you back, is the final confirmation of their true intent. In practice, this single shift can save you years of disappointment, financial loss, emotional depletion, self-doubt, and wasted life energy. Imagine repeatedly lending money to a best friend who swears repayment next week, only to be ghosted or given new stories every single time. Stoic response: accept the lesson with equanimity, amor fati, love of fate. Stop lending immediately. Redirect your generosity toward reciprocal relationships where trust is earned through consistent action. Another common example: a coworker promises collaboration on key projects, vanishes at crunch time, reappears only when they need credit or your help. Pattern spotted: delegate elsewhere, protect your career energy, preserve your peace. Deeper Stoic tie-in: Marcus Aurelius faced endless broken alliances, unfulfilled assurances, and false oaths in the imperial court, yet he focused relentlessly on his own integrity above all else. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Apply that same standard to others. Don't waste time hoping they become reliable, observe whether they already are. Modern psychology confirms the damage. Repeated broken promises trigger dopamine crashes, the trust hormone betrayal response, erode self-trust, increase chronic anxiety, and even activate grief-like brain patterns similar to losing a loved one. Reclaim power through willingness, a core strength within principle. Welcome the revelation as growth, not failure. Treat each broken promise as valuable data, not personal rejection. Expand further with layers of protection and real-world application. Mental ledger system. For the next 30 days, quietly note every promise, verbal or implied. Rate fulfillment on a simple scale. 1. Never kept. 5. Fully honored. If the average drops below 3 after 5-10 instances, the pattern is confirmed. This removes emotion from the equation and makes the truth undeniable. Boundary script examples. I value follow-through very highly. If something comes up that prevents keeping a promise, just let me know early so I can adjust my expectations. Or, I've noticed a pattern where commitments haven't been kept. Let's keep things light and no pressure going forward. Their response, defensiveness, more promises, anger, or ghosting, reveals everything. Emotional reset ritual. When disappointment hits, pause, breathe deeply, and affirm. Their failure to follow through is their character, not my worth. I release the expectation and redirect my energy to people who match my integrity. Long-term filter. After repeated breaches, reduce emotional investment, share less personal information, ask for less help, offer less support. True friends feel the shift and either step up or naturally fade. Users resent the boundary and usually disappear, saving you future pain. Red flag combinations. If broken promises pair with guilt tripping when you call them out, after everything I've done, you're really going to hold this against me. The exploitation is even clearer. This combination turns disappointment into self-blame, keeping you trapped longer. Philosophical reflection. Epictetus reminds us that freedom lies in what is up to us. Their promise breaking is not up to you, but your response is. Choose not to let it disturb your tranquility. Psychological insight. Studies on trust violation show that repeated broken promises activate the anterior cingulate cortex, pain and conflict detection, and reduce activity in reward centers, leading to emotional exhaustion and hypervigilance. Break the cycle by externalizing the pattern, journal it, share with trusted friends, or seek therapy to rebuild self-trust. Viewer reflection question. Think of the last promise someone broke to you. How did it make you feel about yourself? Now reframe. That was their character flaw, not your worthiness. This one attitude alone can prevent years of emotional, financial, and temporal drain. It is the clearest early warning because it costs you the least to spot and act on early. Layer it with the other 14 signs, and your ability to detect exploitation becomes nearly instinctive. Number 14. Diminishing or disdainful comments. The second attitude is the steady, corrosive drip of belittling remarks. Subtle, seemingly casual comments that appear minor or just joking in isolation, but accumulate like acid rain, slowly eroding stone over time. They downplay your achievements. That's nice, but it's not that big a deal. Mock your ambitions. You're still trying that. Cute, dismiss your struggles. Everyone has problems, get over it. Or deliver teasing that targets your insecurities. You always mess that up, ha ha. Often wrapped in humor, brutal honesty, keeping it real, or I'm just playing. These barbs are never truly playful. They are strategic. This is psychological erosion at work. The goal is to keep you slightly off balance, doubting your value and therefore more pliable, less likely to set boundaries and less likely to walk away. When your self-esteem is chipped away consistently, you become grateful for whatever scraps of approval they throw, less confident in your own judgment and more dependent on their validation. They maintain a position of superiority in the dynamic. You remain smaller, easier to control, less threatening to their ego. Stoics saw this dynamic clearly. Seneca warned against those who wound with words, knowing such wounds fester longer than physical injuries and can poison the soul over time. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you interpret it that matters. But when someone repeatedly interprets your life, your efforts, your worth as lesser, it warps your own lens, making it harder to hold your truth with confidence. The pattern reveals their insecurity. They need you diminished to feel larger. Watch for consistency. Do their jokes ever target your real vulnerabilities? Do they celebrate your successes genuinely or immediately qualify them? Good for you, but I did better when. Do they listen to your struggles with empathy or pivot to their own? That's nothing compared to what I'm dealing with. If the balance is consistently diminishing rather than uplifting, it's not casual banter, it's control. Protect yourself. Call it out once calmly and directly. That comment hurt. Let's not go there. If it continues, share less of your inner world, your wins, your dreams. Stoic response. Their disdain reflects their own soul, not your value. Limit exposure. Seek people who build you up, not break you down. Real life expansion. A partner constantly mocks your new hobby or career pivot. You're really wasting time on that. Over months, doubt creeps in. You stop pursuing passions that once lit you up. Friend one-ups every achievement. Congrats, but my promotion was bigger. Confidence erodes. You share less. Coworker dismisses your ideas. That's cute, but we've tried that. Innovation stifled. Pattern spotted. Reduce sharing. Protect energy. Seek collaborators who celebrate growth. Deeper Stoic tie-in. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to treat others with justice and kindness, even when difficult. Users skip justice toward you entirely. Modern psychology. Chronic belittling activates shame circuits, lowers self-esteem, increases anxiety and depression risk. Reclaim through non-judgment. Another strength within principle. Their words are their issue. Your worth is internal, sovereign. This attitude alone signals low regard. Layer with others for full clarity. Expand. Consider how these comments condition you to self-censor. You stop sharing dreams, vulnerabilities, wins because you anticipate diminishment. Over time, you shrink to fit their comfort zone. Stoic antidote. Reclaim your voice. Share with those who celebrate, not compete or diminish. Your growth deserves applause, not sarcasm. Another layer. In group settings, watch how they speak of absent people. If they belittle others behind their backs, they will do the same to you. Disdainful patterns are contagious. Protect your mind from internalizing them. Practical exercise. For 1 week, note every diminishing comment. Rate its impact on your mood, energy, confidence, 1-10. If the list grows and the impact deepens, recognize the pattern. Reduce contact. Replace with uplifting company, people whose presence calls forth your best, as Epictetus advised. Viewer reflection. Recall a time someone joked in a way that stung. How did it affect your self-perception? Now reframe. That was their insecurity speaking, not truth about you. Number 13. Unilateral benefit. The relationship flows only one direction, toward them. Financially, they borrow money, use your resources, expect you to cover costs, with repayment promises that fade into excuses or silence. Emotionally, they unload problems, seek validation, vent endlessly, but when you need to talk, They're too busy, distracted, or change the subject. Practically, they ask for favors, rides, help moving, introductions, advice, time, but vanish or make excuses when you need the same. This is parasitism in human form. One organism, them, benefits at the expense of the host, you. Over time, you become depleted, financially stretched, emotionally exhausted, time poor, while they thrive on what you've given without contribution. Stoics valued reciprocity as essential to virtuous relationships. Seneca wrote, "He who receives a benefit gladly has already repaid it." True care involves give and take. When it's always take, it's exploitation. Audit honestly who initiates contact more, who gives more emotionally, who sacrifices more time, energy, resources. If the ledger is lopsided for months, it's not friendship, it's usage. Protect yourself. Set clear limits early. I can help this once, but not regularly. Watch their reaction. Resentment, guilt tripping, or sudden disappearance confirms the truth. Reduce giving proportionally. Real-life expansion. Someone repeatedly borrows money just this once, promises repayment, never follows through. Emotional dumper vents daily crises but tunes out yours. Favor asker needs rides, help, but can't when you ask. Pattern user. Stoic response, accept the lesson, redirect generosity to reciprocal bonds. Deeper tie-in, Epictetus, don't demand reciprocity, observe it. Modern, one-sided relationships increase cortisol, lower well-being, raise depression risk. Strength within principle, guard your resources as sacred. Expand, financial unilateralism, borrowing without repayment erodes trust and creates resentment. Emotional unilateralism, constant venting without listening, leaves you feeling like a therapist, not a friend. Practical unilateralism, always needing help but never offering, treats you as a service provider. All drain your reserves. Stoic antidote, balance the ledger or exit. Another layer, in family or long-term bonds, unilateralism feels harder to spot because history blinds us. But history doesn't excuse current exploitation. Audit even close relationships. If imbalance persists, protect yourself with boundaries or distance. Practical exercise for 2 weeks, track every give-take interaction. Note who benefits. Imbalance clear. Communicate once, I notice I'm giving more, let's balance. No change, reduce investment. Your energy is finite, spend it where it returns.